A good joke that, returned Don Quixote. Books that have been printed with the king's license and with the approbation of those to whom they have been submitted and read with universal delight and extolled by great and small, rich and poor, learned and ignorant, gentle and simple, in a word, by people of every sort, of whatever rank or condition that may be, that these should be lies. And above all, when they carry such an appearance of truth with them, for they tell us the father, mother, country, kindred, age, place, and the achievements, step by step, and day by day, performed by such a knight or knights. Hush, sir, utter not more blasphemy. Trust me, I am advising you now to act as a sensible man should. Only read them, and you will see the pleasure you will derive from them. For, come, tell me, can there be anything more delightful than to see it, as it were, here now displayed before us? A vast lake of bubbling pitch with a host of snakes and serpents and lizards and ferocious and terrible creatures and all sorts of swimming about it, while from the middle of the lake there comes a plaintive voice saying, Knight, whosoever thou art, who beholds this dread lake, if thou wouldst win the prize that lies hidden beneath these dusky waves, prove the valor of thy stout heart, and cast thyself into the midst of the dark burning waters. Else thou shalt not be worthy to see the mighty wonders contained in the seven castles of the seven fays that lie beneath the black expanse. And then the knight, almost ere the awful voice has ceased, without stopping to consider, without pausing to reflect upon the danger to which he is exposing himself, without even relieving himself of the weight of his massive armor, commending himself to God and to his lady, plunges into the midst of the boiling lake, and when he finds little looks for it, or knows what his fate is to be, he finds himself among flowery meadows with which the Elysian fields are not to be compared. The sky seems more transparent there, and the sun shines with a strange brilliancy, and a delightful grove of green leafy trees presents itself to the eyes and charms the sight with its verdure, while the ear is soothed by the sweet and untutored melody of the countless birds of gay plumage that flit to and fro among the interlacing branches. Here he sees a brook with whose limpid waters, like liquid crystal, ripple over fine sands and white pebbles that look like sifted gold and purest pearls. There he perceives a cunningly wrought fountain of many-colored jasper and polished marble. Here another of rustic fashion, where the little mussel shells and the spiral white and yellow mansions of the snail, disposed in studious disorder, mingled with fragments of glittering crystal and mock emeralds, make up a work of varied aspect, where art, imitating nature, seems to have outdone it. Suddenly there is presented to his sight a strong castle or gorgeous place with walls of massy gold, turrets of diamond, and gates of jacinth. In short, so marvelous is its structure that the thought and the materials of which it is built are nothing less than diamonds, carbuncles, rubies, pearls, gold, and emeralds. The workmanship is still more rare. And after having seen all this, what can be more charming than to see how a bevy of damsels come forth from the gate of the castle in gay and gorgeous attire, such that, were I to set myself now to depict it as the historians describe it to be to us, I should never have done. And then, how she who seems to be the first among them all takes the bold knight who plunged into the boiling lake by the hand, and without addressing a word to him, leads him into the rich palace or castle, and strips him as naked as when his mother bore him, and bathes him in lukewarm water, and anoints him all over with sweet-smelling unguents, and clothes him in a shirt of the softest sandal, all scented and perfumed, while another damsel comes and throws over his shoulders a mantle which is said to be worth at the very least a city, and even more. How charming it is, then, when they tell us how, after all this, they lead him to another chamber where he finds the tables set out in such a style that he is filled with amazement and wonder to see how they pour out water for his hands and distilled from amber and sweet-scented flowers, how they seat him on an ivory chair, to see how the damsels wait on him, all in profound silence, how they bring him such a variety of dainties so temptingly prepared that the appetite is at a loss which to select, to hear the music that resounds while he is at the table, by whom or whence produced he knows not. And then when the repast is over and the tables removed, for the knight is to recline in the chair, picking his teeth perhaps as usual, and a damsel much lovelier than any of the others to enter unexpectedly by the chamber door, and herself by his side, and begin to tell him what the castle is, and how she is held enchanted there, and other things that amaze the knight and astonish the readers who are perusing his history. But I will not expatiate any further upon this, as it may be gathered from it that whatever part of Whatever history of a knight errant one reads, it will fill the reader, whoever he is, with delight and wonder. And take my advice, sir, and as I said before, read these books. But I will not expand any further upon this, as it may be gathered from it, that whatever part of whatever history of a knight errant one reads, it will fill the reader, whoever he be, with delight and wonder. And take my advice, sir, and as I said before, read these books, and you will see how they will banish any melancholy you may feel, and raise your spirits should they be depressed. For myself, I could say that since I have been a knight errant, I have become valiant, polite, generous, well-bred, magnanimous, courteous, dauntless, gentle, patient, and have learned to bear hardships, imprisonments, and enchantments. And though it be such a short time, such I have seen myself shut up in a cage like a madman, I hope by the might of my arm, if heaven aid me and fortune thwart me not, to see myself king of some kingdom where I may be able to show the gratitude and generosity that dwell in my heart. For by my faith, Senor, the